2, 1.
7 things you probably didn't know you need to know. I'm Jamie East, and this is the Smart 7.
Good morning, everybody. It's Friday the 18th of February, and it's Eat Ice Cream for Breakfast Day. Don't mind if I do. And a big happy birthday to Yoko Ono, Gary Neville, John Travolta and Dr. Dre.
7.
The tension continued on the Ukrainian border on Thursday with a number of incidents between Ukrainian forces and Russian-backed rebels in the east of the country. Shells hit a children's school, injuring 3 adults but no children, and the US continues to warn that Russians will try to create some kind of incident that can kickstart an invasion. Boris too was warning of the danger in the next few days.
A kindergarten was shelled in what we know was a false flag operation designed to create a spurious provocation for Russian action. We fear very much that is the kind of thing we'll see more of over the next few days.
Although the US military continues to show satellite imagery of Russian troops and warning that there's no sign of any de-escalation, Russian Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Vershinin says that some Russian troops are returning home.
After military drills, Russian troops began to come back to the places of their permanent location on national Russian territory.
The BBC Eastern European correspondent Sarah Rainsford spoke to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, and she asked him if NATO membership is still something that his country wants to see.
If we're speaking about NATO, about EU, about temporary occupied territories, we're just speaking about our independence. That's it. That we are deciding what we want. We are deciding what we'll do in our future.
NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg was also defending Ukraine's right to independence and the right to stand up to bigger powers.
Any decision on NATO's membership is for NATO allies and aspirant countries to take, nobody else. We cannot accept a return to an age of spheres of influence, where big powers bully, intimidate, or dictate to others.
Storm Eunice has been battering the UK following hot on the heels of Storm Dudley. Eunice comes with red warnings covering the southwest coast and now also extending to cover London and the southeast, and people have been asked to work from home and stay indoors if possible. Red warnings mean that there's a danger to life, with the potential for roofs to be blown off, power lines down and flying debris. Boris says the government is ready to assist.
For those who've already been affected by Storm Dudley, we're offering all the support that we can. Extend my sympathies to those who are still without power. We're working with the power companies, the local authorities, to get their juice restored as fast as possible. But also, of course, the army is on standby.
Meteorologist Jim Dale says Storm Eustace needs to be taken very seriously.
This is a rare storm. I think people have to sit up and think about this one, not just take the warnings and put them in the back pocket and say, I've got the warning, I'm just going to do the normal thing.
Donald Trump's been losing a lot recently. Joe Biden has waived executive privilege on White House visitor logs for January the 6th, and Donald's accounting firm Mazars quit as the investigation into his financial affairs continues. And now he's lost again in New York as he attempted to quash subpoenas for himself, Ivanka and Don Jr., all of whom are now required to testify in the next 21 days in New York Attorney General Letitia James's civil suit, which seeks to inquire into the affairs of the Trump Organization. She's also got a criminal case in the works, and NBC News' legal correspondent Tom Winter says the judge's ruling is clear.
What the Trumps had wanted is either for these depositions to go away, or in lieu of that, for them to be stayed until the criminal investigations is concluded. The judges denied that on both counts. The state attorney general uncovers copious evidence of possible financial fraud and wants to question, under oath, several of the entity's principals, including its namesake. She has the clear right to do so.
Still to come on the Smart 7, it's a bad day on the ice for Russian skating, and Robert Pattinson shares some Batman advice. Right after this. Welcome back.
The Europa League knockout stages started last night and saw Rangers win 4-2 against Borussia Dortmund in Germany, putting them in a strong position for the second leg. At the Winter Olympics, Team GB's men's curling team managed to slide past Team USA to grab a place in the final and at least a silver medal. Also at the Winter Olympics, the Russian skater Kamila Valieva's controversial Winter Olympics ended in tears with a 4th place finish in the women's event after the 15-year-old fell multiple times in the free skate. She'd been allowed to compete again despite failing a drugs test, but the pressure seemed to have gotten to her, as veteran sports reporter Christine Brennan described.
It was unexpected, it was shocking, it was heartbreaking, and you couldn't help but think you were watching the results of the abuse of a child. Obviously, the weight of the world on her shoulders. She had a little trouble in the short program. This was just awful. This is one of the greatest talents we have ever seen in figure skating, reduced to just a kid in trouble.
The brand new Batman movie, The Batman, stars Robert Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman. It's only 2 weeks away from hitting cinemas, and early previews suggest it's going to be amazing. Arpats popped up on Jimmy Kimmel's show, and he revealed the one piece of advice former Batman Christian Bale offered him when he took the role.
I bumped into Christian Bale next to him at a urinal, and I guess it kind of inspired him to say, the first thing you need to do in the batsuit is figure out a way to pee. And so when I went to the costume department, I was like, should need a flap on the back. Easy access.
We haven't heard much from Australian director Baz Luhrmann for a while, but he's directed Great Gatsby, Moulin Rouge, Romeo and Juliet and more. So putting him in charge of a movie about the one and only king of rock and roll Elvis Presley sounds like an excellent idea. It stars Tom Hanks as Elvis manager Colonel Parker and relative newcomer Austin Butler as Mr. Blue Suede Shoes himself. It's due to hit cinemas in June and the first trailer's just dropped.
He's a young singer from Memphis, Tennessee. Give him a warm hayride welcome. Mr. Elvis Presley.
Get a haircut, buttercup.
In that moment, I watched that skinny boy transform into a superhero.
This has been The Smart 7. Wherever you're listening, do us a favour and hit the follow button. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Have a great day.
Written, produced and published by Daft Doris.